Two men shot outside this home here in Sanford. What we're learning from family members about one of the victims who died.
The big story this week is our temperature roller coaster. When we ramp up to record-shattering warmth and the big crash coming after.
With the NHL Stadium Series game behind us, I take a look at the lessons learned from hosting an event of this size.
Plus, my live conversation with the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. His answer when I ask him about what about plans for more outdoor games. And as we take a live look right now at the radar, look at this. All of the showers have now moved out of our area. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. So as this moves out, we prepare for what's next, which is record heat over the next few days. Meteorologist Kat Campbell explaining from the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
We've got big changes coming our way, from all the cloud cover and temperatures in the 60s today to sunshine and highs back in the mid-80s later on this week. Although the dual Doppler 5000 radar has quieted down tonight, we may see a few spotty showers move in overnight. So just a heads up, if you wake up early tomorrow morning, you may run into a quick shower. 6 a.m. Futurecast showing some rain from Raleigh Point south. It's very light rain, more of a drizzle or mist through 7 a.m. That's out of here, though, by the main morning commute at 8 a.m. And then the sunshine comes out and temperatures start to climb. Highs reach the mid-70s tomorrow, and that would be within 1 degree of the record high of 77. We're forecasting 76. But look at Thursday. Yes, you are seeing that number right. 85 degrees. I'll explain why that's so significant coming up.
You got it. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Kat.
Now we continue following breaking news in Sanford, where 2 people were shot, 1 fatally. And new tonight, we're hearing from the family of the victim who died. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is live at the scene. And Aaron, what are family and investigators telling you tonight?
Hey, good evening, Deborah. So I'm still waiting for investigators to respond to my questions as it pertains to any suspect information or any arrests made. They did spend a lot of their time here at this home, this brick home. We're told that this is where the shooting happened, outside of the home in the yard. That's when we learned 2 men were shot. Now, dozens of investigators were on the scene combing through evidence. I had the chance to speak with one woman who tells me that the man who died at the hospital was her brother-in-law. She says that she witnessed him being shot as she was going to her car and immediately tried to help him.
He was bleeding, just bleeding. He didn't even know he had been shot. And when I tried to grab him, he fell.
Yeah, a lot of strong motions here at the intersection of Magnolia and Simmons Street. I do appear to see some family members coming in and out of this home where the shooting happened. Now, another person was shot out here, was taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. On our late news beginning at 10 on Fox 50, you're going to be hearing from more family members of the man who died and his impact here in the neighborhood. Deborah?
Aaron Thomas live in Sanford. Thank you, Aaron. New tonight, a former Wake County deputy is charged with child abuse. Arrest warrants show 39-year-old Christopher Balgawan is facing 2 misdemeanor charges for kicking and punching a juvenile under the age of 16. The warrants also show Balgawan encouraged the same child to purchase illegal substances from a nearby auto inspection company on 2 separate occasions. Balgawan was a deputy with Wake County for 4 years, from September 2007 to September 2011.
Talk about a massive weekend for the Triangle. The NHL Stadium Series drew 56,000 fans to Carter Finley Stadium. Everything from the traffic to the game to the fun outside to the fan fest in downtown. We're still waiting for all the final numbers, but there's no doubt Raleigh can, in fact, host an event of this magnitude on a national stage. So when can we see another event of this scale here in our area? And what are some of the big takeaways for organizers? WRAL's Brett Neese live for us at Carter Finley Stadium, where NC State and UNC's hockey teams are getting a chance to face off on the ice. Brett.
Yeah, Dan, they just took the ice. They're getting ready for the national anthem. But the local organizing committee for this NHL Stadium Series, they said they wanted to make sure they got as many people out here to Carter Finley to see outdoor hockey and the spectacle that it is as they could. And those leaders tell me that the success of this past weekend and all these events reestablishes Raleigh as a destination for marquee events. Whether you were there on Saturday night,
no one does it like Raleigh,
or you took in a game this afternoon,
it was outstanding. It was just, it had that college feel, which is all we're about here in our state. So I thought it was perfect, and I hope we get another one.
A hockey rink in the middle of Carter Finley Stadium's football field is still unbelievable for so many.
I never thought, because, one day it's 70, the next day it's 20 degrees. So I'm glad they freeze the ice from under.
Nearly 57,000 people packed the stands on Saturday night for a sporting spectacle that exceeded many people's expectations. And now the question is, when can we do this again?
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's why I would love to see it happen again. But yeah, it's amazing to see everyone just support Raleigh in this way.
Everybody wants this event. So I know the Canes and Tom Dundon, and I don't blame them, they're going to want it back as soon as possible. But there is going to be some type of procedure or process of waiting in line and waiting your turn.
But as with any event, things can be improved. One of the biggest headaches Saturday was parking. Sky 5 video shows the traffic jams for miles around the stadium. Raleigh Mayor Mary Ann Baldwin told me, quote, "I also believe it's important for us to re-envision the future of PNC Arena, Carter Finley Stadium, with complementary development surrounding the facility. Events like this encourage us to think bigger." That aside, Raleigh was put on a global stage Saturday night.
It's events like these that typically open the doors for additional events in the future, sports or otherwise.
So organizers will take the next couple of weeks to analyze all the events leading up to and after the Stadium Series to get a better idea of the full economic impact of it. They expect it, though, Dan, to exceed their pregame estimate of $12.4 million.
Hey, and the party continues out at Carter Finley Stadium. Brett Neese reporting live for us. Thanks, Brett.
What a huge crowd out there. And now we continue our coverage with Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon. It's an interview you'll see only here on WRAL. Tom, good evening. You know, the Canes win on Saturday night, just the icing on the cake, really, to a fabulous weekend. You see the fans out there still excited about what's happening, and about half the people from that Saturday game were from out of town. So tell me from your vantage point, how did you feel about this Stadium Series?
Look, it was very exciting, and I'm actually proud of everybody. There's a lot of work that went into it, and just feel, really fortunate that we got to be a part of it. And you're always a little nervous when you're doing something like this, and to have it work, and the team wins, and everybody wants to do it again, which that's how I think that's how it went well.
Isn't that the truth? We just heard the Caniacs saying they want it again. Tell me, how did the players feel about it? What did they say to you?
I think it's pretty similar, and that's what's interesting about it is they were very, I think they were genuinely, I don't know if moved is the right word, but they definitely, it created a lot of emotions. I think they realized they got to do something interesting and something they'll remember, and so it's really nice to see the players that engaged and that excited about something, because it's a long season, it's a hard job that they've got, and when they're happy and they're so touched by the way everything went, I think that's what we're trying to do.
I talked to so many non-hockey people who even took in Fan Fest, if not the game. They just love this experience. Are you surprised by how many people really embraced this?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm surprised, but I'm pleased for sure. I think the first time I drove up to the stadium 5 years ago and saw the arena and the stadium in the same parking lot, and then you learn about the tailgating. It crossed my mind that this might work, but once you see it happen, it's definitely a relief. And maybe it was I don't know that you could have, even if you believed in it, I don't know if you could have imagined when you add in the sort of spectacle the NHL put on, and then all the fans in the building. And I really like the uniforms, the way it looked on TV. I think all that together, it worked really well.
The city and the state really put on a good show, too. Are you pushing for another outdoor game? And as you're hearing people asking, I want to ask you the question, how soon could another game like this happen?
Yeah, we've started to work on that. But the thing is that it took, the city and the county and NC State and the NHL and the TV networks. There's so many people that did so much work here, and the staff of the Hurricanes. I think if we try to do it too soon, like next year, it'd be difficult. Some people might quit on me, but I don't think we're going to have to wait another whatever. I guess we've never had one, so it's 20 plus years. But yeah, I'm optimistic that we're going to get. It's not because of me. It went so well. It'd be hard to imagine that the NHL doesn't want to do this again too.
Looked like Eric Cole almost broke the siren, so you may have to get another one of those for inside PNC Arena. Such a great event. Congratulations on so many levels. And Owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, Tom Dundon, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Wake County is offering some training that could save lives. We have a look at how first responders are using technology to make our community safer. Plus, another big name added to the lineup for the NASCAR All-Star race happening in our state this year. We're going to take you into that area and tell you when you can get tickets if you don't have them already.
Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Wake County is training up a network of people to perform life-saving CPR. And using an app, trainees can be notified if there is someone nearby in distress. Wake EMS says demand for classes has skyrocketed after Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin's cardiac arrest on the field. WRL's Joe Fisher takes us inside the training.
Most people who witness someone in cardiac arrest do not know how to perform CPR, but with just your two hands, it's possible you could save a life.
When we start doing this, we will get into when do I stop, when do I not stop.
The people in this room come for their own reasons.
I have a lot of old friends.
But with the same goal.
You should be screaming at the top of your lungs, call 911, call 911.
To save lives.
Are you okay? You okay?
All learning how to perform CPR.
Put the heel of your hand right in the middle of the sternum.
It's helpful to keep your elbows fully extended.
And how to use an AED.
Call 911. Get the AED.
Shock advised.
This is someone's life you're trying to save, and it's better of you trying to do the compressions and giving them a better chance of saving them.
Play around with it both ways and figure out.
Brooks' father, Brian Brooks, is an assistant chief with Wake EMS.
We're going to talk about numbers. We're going to talk about stats.
Nearly 650 people have signed up for this free 2-hour training in the wake of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin's on-field cardiac arrest.
Certainly Mr. Hamlin's injury live on Monday Night Football spurned a movement where everybody wants to learn, which is a wonderful thing. And we are shooting for a rate of 100 to 120 beats in a minute.
Wake EMS responds to priority calls in about 8 minutes, but after just 6 minutes, a patient can experience irreversible brain damage.
As much as I hate to stand here and say it, we are not going to be at your house in time to save somebody's life.
That's why Wake County is creating a network of citizen responders, and they're using the Pulse Point app to dispatch people where help is needed.
So that if you're out in public and a cardiac arrest happens, and you're within a quarter mile, it'll beep your phone like a weather alert.
You've likely seen one of these AEDs on the wall, and while the device looks intimidating, once you open it up, it walks you through every step.
The AED is going to determine whether it's going to deliver a shock or not.
Wake EMS has saved more than 300 lives in the last 3 years. In 2021, just 54% of survivors received CPR from a bystander.
It's kind of eye-opening, kind of seeing the statistics and hearing what he had to say, so I'm glad I'm here.
Go ahead and introduce it.
Brooks says kids as young as 10 can play a role in saving lives.
The more people we can get to do CPR and be willing to intervene and do it, the safer our community is going to be.
I'm Joe Fisher, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Now, keep in mind, Wake County's monthly classes are booked until July. However, Wake EMS does offer free pop-up training for schools, churches, and other organizations. We've posted some contact information on WRAL.com. Just search CPR.
2 local community colleges could help fight the state's teacher shortage. The community college system wants to make teacher licensing for elementary school teachers more affordable. Fayetteville Tech and Wayne Community College are among the 7 schools that would offer the pilot program. The idea now goes to the State Board of Education for approval.
The airlines at RDU Airport are preparing for a busy spring with some new destinations. Breeze Airlines will add a new flight to Los Angeles, California at LAX. Southwest Airlines will begin nonstop service to Houston and Las Vegas in April. And Frontier Airlines is adding Dallas to their list of destinations. Tickets for all of these flights are on sale now.
Hey, look at this new tonight. An expansion could be in the works for the Raleigh Convention Center and Red Hat Amphitheater. The rendering shows what Red Hat Amphitheater would look like after a move that would create a 2-square-block destination for meetings and events. The Raleigh Convention and Performing Arts Complex presented the plan today, saying this would allow for larger events and more people. This is a rendering showing the possible convention center expansion. The complex is asking to use money from hospitality taxes to fund an estimated $425 million for more flexible meeting space. Raleigh set a record in 2022 for hotel room nights and tourism.
All right, let's talk about this weather. Meteorologist Kat Campbell joining us with an 85 degrees symbol for some reason behind her. There's no way we're reaching 85 in February.
You read that right. You know, what's normal on Thursday is actually 58. So you flip those numbers around and that's what's normal. That's not where we're going to be on Thursday. 85 degrees. I'm not even saying record warmth at this point. It is record heat that we have ahead this week. It's really going to be feeling a bit more like summer. If we hit 85 degrees, it would end up being the warmest February day ever in Raleigh. And the records on that Raleigh stat go all the way back to 1887. To put that into perspective, 85 degrees, 27 degrees above normal. And I think this may be the most shocking. 85 is our normal high on June 4th. In February, we are going to be there feeling a bit more like June now. And this is the reason why we have a huge ridge of high pressure that is building. And this is a sharp divide in the jet stream from major record heat all the way to extreme cold in portions of the Dakota, a big snowstorm on the way out west as well. It's the dividing line in between the country here is our jet stream. The ridge of high pressure really drives up temperatures for us locally, though, for the next few days. We've got a few more 70-degree days to go before we reach the 80s. And so far this February, we've had 7 days in the 70s. I think that we'll get to double digits. We may not be all the way to the record of 13 70-plus degree days, though, in 2017. And it's still pretty remarkable if we hit 10 or 11. The average is just 2 to 3 days in February in the 70s. Out there tonight, still a wide range of temperatures. As I mentioned earlier this afternoon, we have a weak front west to east closer to the Virginia line. We've seen a big temperature difference, 48 degrees in Roxborough, about 10 degrees milder for Raleigh as well as Durham, 58 degrees. And in Fayetteville, still sitting at 65 degrees this afternoon. The dual Doppler 5000 radar showing that the rain has pushed east, but we may see an isolated sprinkle late tonight into very early tomorrow morning. Don't be caught off guard if you do run into a sprinkle. It would not be heavy. It would not add up to anything in your rain gauge. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, it's in the mid-50s, so you may want to send the kids to school with a light sweater. Layer up, though, because by lunchtime, it's t-shirt weather, 72 degrees, mid-70s tomorrow afternoon, and we are partly cloudy tomorrow afternoon, so we should see much more sunshine than what we saw out there today. And then we cloud back up a bit as we head into Wednesday. Mostly cloudy skies return, and that may keep our high temperature down a degree on Wednesday. We go from 76 to 75 and then shooting right back up to 85 on Thursday. And that's also thanks to a strong southwest wind. That's a warming wind for us. The wind speeds should be 15 to 20 miles per hour, and that's the sustained wind. That helps deliver the warm air. Still mild for your Friday, but as we head into Friday night and Saturday, we're going to be tracking our approaching cold front. That's going to knock our temperatures down and bring some rain on Saturday. And that 53 on Saturday, they actually feel more like the 40s with the rain. So be prepared for a big shock to the system going, from shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops on Thursday all the way to umbrellas and winter coats again by Saturday. True North Carolina for you.
You got it, yeah. All right, thanks, Kat.
Well, they weren't exactly invited, but they didn't crash the wedding either. The story behind this photo of first responders, a North Carolina bride and groom on a wedding day that they will never forget.
And as we head into break, a quick live look at a glowing downtown Raleigh, a beautiful night. Stick with us here on WRAL. We're back right after this.
North Carolina's biggest theme park is looking to hire more than 2,000 people for its 50th anniversary season.
Carowinds anticipating filling over 300 of those roles during a week-long hiring period underway right now until Friday. The positions include admissions, aquatics, food and beverage, merchandise, and game ride operations, and security. Hourly pay starts at $15.
I wonder if you get to ride the rides just as many times as you want to.
You have to. You got to test all of them out. No matter what your role is there. there. A North Carolina couple certainly has a unique wedding story to tell.
Yeah, the bride and groom had to be rescued from an elevator on their big day. The Charlotte Fire Department posted this picture to Facebook of first responders with Mr. and Mrs. Ja. They were stuck in an elevator with their wedding party, and firefighters had to hoist them to safety. No one was hurt. Crews wish the couple a long and happy life together.
The best weddings never go according to plan.
No,
There's
you have
always
to have a story.
A few hiccups. Yeah, exactly.
Well, a popular country performer just joined the lineup for NASCAR All-Star Race weekend at the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Dierks Bentley will take the stage Sunday, May 21st, for a pre-race concert. Country artists Chase Rice and Midland will perform at the Speedway on Friday, May 19th. All-Star race seats were assigned today. Limited weekend packages, they go on sale tomorrow, and single day tickets go on sale on Wednesday.
Oh,
I mean, that's just a
fun.
party from beginning to end right there.
Uh-huh.
Country star, speaking of country music, Travis Tritt announcing some new concerts this summer, and we know at least one of them will be in North Carolina.
Dan was just singing some of his music. It was really great.
How dare you?
I don't know. Will you sing some more? I don't know. Well, Tritt and his band will perform at the Wilson Center in downtown Wilmington, July 22nd. Tickets for members go on sale Wednesday, followed by general admission Friday. Tritt is coming to the Triangle, too. He's going to hold a show at the D-PAC April 27th. And Dan is going to be back up for him.
If I sang right now, the bosses would be like, something weird happened in the ratings. In the last minute of the show, everyone turned off at the exact same time.
He's good. He's good. Trust me.
Well, thank you for being with us tonight. I'll leave the singing for off air. How about that?
Our next newscast at 10 on Fox 50 and at 11 on WRAL. We hope to see you then. Have a great night.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.